Happy Monday and welcome here to another edition of Husker Online. Headlines, Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple. We're brought to you by our title sponsor of StayHome.Care. They offer many of the same types of personalized care you might find in a nursing home, right in the comfort of your home. Whether your loved one is young or old, living with a disability, recovering from surgery, or just simply needs extra help when they're sick, StayHome.Care provides consistent, compassionate support from personal care and companionship to daily tasks like laundry, meal prep, and assistance with appointments or outings. They're there when your loved ones need you and you can't be there. Give them a call at 402-205-2233 to learn more. Just visit their website at StayHome.Care. Our heart is with you because we put our heart into everything we do. Your home, our care. StayHome.Care. But busy weekend. I don't know if we were expecting the weekend we had.
No, I don't know. It was a whirlwind. Started Friday night when you got that tip on Vince Karras.
Yeah, I had a contact in Toledo, media member out there that reached out about Karras, that he was, talking to Nebraska and
about
the defensive coordinator opening. So that kind of like, oh, here we go, it's rolling,
right?
And then
it was rolling.
Saturday,
it was rolling. Mike Price.
Roll Tide roll. But yeah, let me set the stage. Headline one of the show: Rhule locks down the major hires. Well, Saturday, I'm coaching basketball games over at the Kinetic Complex.
Oh, that's where you were. Kinetic.
We had a 1 o'clock and a 3 o'clock game, and after the 1 o'clock game, the news hits.
Which news was that?
About Donovan Rhule.
Oh yeah, that was Donovan. Yeah, Saturday.
And I tell my family, like, hey, my dad's there. I got to go out to the car and get to work in between games. So it's like
most people don't understand.
They don't understand the pressure and the urgency you have to operate on these things.
They might by now. My family does. Like last night, I was supposed to go. I didn't even tell you. I was supposed to go to my niece's birthday party, and I was going to leave the basketball game early to get to Parker's. And what happened? The defensive coordinator thing popped. I was just like, I'm not going to that party.
But yeah, so that happens.
Okay, so back to Saturday. My bad.
And Rhule gets fired.
Donovan gets fired.
Like, whoa, like
yeah.
The ink wasn't even dry before we learned about Jeep, his replacement.
Jeep Wade, and
Jeep Wade comes in from Georgia Tech. I mean, that might have been the quickest A to B
I've ever seen
in this type of deal. And so Jeep Wade comes from Georgia Tech, replaces Donovan Rhule. Obviously, Georgia Tech has been known as a very physical run offensive line style program, and Wade has been the leader of that group. He's evidently coming in on a 2-year deal, roughly worth $1.5 million, which would put him about $100,000 more per year than they were paying Donovan Rhule.
So so roughly $750,000 a year, right?
Right, and Rhule was about $650,000.
Yeah, so. I mean, he gets obviously Jeep Wade's going to get some credit for their run offense, which averaged 203 yards per game. Now that's with Haynes King running for almost 1,000 yards. That's the quarterback. So they had a quarterback run that ran Haynes King. He got 900 and some, Sean. But anyway, his 3 years there were strong. They were a good running team. 223, 224, 225. Now, you said he was also looking at South Carolina?
Yeah, South Carolina was the other team in play for Jeep Wade, and Nebraska won the bidding war. And this came from a contact tied to Georgia Tech, and just how it all kind of played out there. But, he's getting a significant pay increase from where he was at Georgia Tech to now coming to Nebraska. I think he's going to make about $300,000 more per year here.
Okay, now, that helps explain why he's here. Some people are going to say, "Wait a second, why'd he leave Georgia Tech? They're a top 25 team. They're 9-3. Why leave?"
ACC teams don't have the money.
Yeah.
I mean, they are operating at a much smaller overall revenue pot than Big Ten and SEC teams are. And here's a great example. Here's a successful top 25 level team O-line coach. And a Big Ten team like Nebraska is going to pay him $300,000 more, and he's making $450,000 there.
There you go. So there's a reason. Another reason is Glenn Thomas. I imagine I'm not saying that Glenn Thomas was the impetus to this hire, but they have a history together. They coached at Midwestern State together. So you could envision a scenario where Thomas would tell Rhule, hey, he's good. I mean, look at him. He was good at Midwestern State. He's a power run guy, no nonsense, good teacher. I mean, it looks pretty good, right?
Yeah, and look, let's just be honest. Like the way the season played out, this offensive line was supposed to be the real strength of the offense. It was one of the most veteran units in the country.
Yep.
And red flag number one was Michigan, where after about 2 series, that wasn't a red flag. That was like a tsunami.
Yeah, it was more than a red flag.
To see 7 sacks.
Those are sirens. There were sirens going off. Remember?
And how bad Nebraska's tackle play was. Meanwhile, their $1.2 million left tackle was on the bench.
Yeah, remember, if you just think back to the Michigan game, I think the first 2 series we were alarmed, right? In the press box. I was like, Sean, what are they going to get this taken care of? You know, these two race cars on the
wide
edges.
nines.
Yeah. Wide nines just storming the quarterback. Like, I mean, it was amazing to watch, kind of. Not if you're a Nebraska fan, it was troubling. So the other thing that comes to mind, you think about the stuff that Rhule said on his, I think it was a signing day press conference, when he said, we gotta stop the run, we gotta run the ball. They were 81st in the country in rushing offense.
There were 3 key offensive line moments, though, that changed this season. The Michigan game, the Minnesota game with 9 sacks.
Michigan was 7 sacks, Minnesota 9.
And then, obviously, the USC game where the Huskers had the ball up 14-6 and a max protect play was called, and Dylan Rhule broke his leg on that play. I mean, those were 3 season-changing moments that the offensive line was kind of right in them. And you could argue they're always going to be in the middle of every play, but those come to mind. 7 sacks, 9 sacks, a moment in the game where you were going to put USC away, and your season probably would have been changed at that point.
Right. Now, let me play Johnny Cochran here. Okay, and defend Donovan Raiola. Maybe Dylan held the ball too long on that play. By the way, did Nebraska not have the top rushing running back in the Big Ten? You got to give the offensive line credit for that. How many sacks were given up in the last 4 or 5 games? They basically shut that problem down. Now, that was somewhat play call. Well, it was somewhat play calling. They're getting the ball out.
And they moved the pocket. But
yeah,
the thing I'll say about Emmett's rushing number, don't discount how many tacklers he made miss. They tracked that. And
sure,
Antoine Raymond and Emmett Johnson made the most tacklers miss of any backs in the conference. So, yes, he had a great year, but a lot of it was Emmett's individual wiggles and cuts and moves. I mean,
right. And the thing I can't, even as Johnny Cochran, I can't defend is the inconsistency. The offensive line didn't achieve the kind of consistency that you'd want.
And I don't care, like the Pritchett thing, like
Elijah Pritchett.
They didn't make the move to bring Alabama's starting right tackle to Lincoln to not play. And that kind of started things off strange, because you had this huge roster acquisition that wasn't playing the first month.
Now, counter. But they had to set him straight.
Yeah, but
or you might never had the player that you got the last part of the season.
Or do you let him work through it against Houston Christian and Akron instead of not starting him in those games?
It's a tough call. I like player discipline, and maybe they had to do that. They had to show him, you're not going to play if you're not doing what we're asking.
Well, that's him.
You're a coach.
I don't know if the head coach was fully on board with that, though.
I don't know, but you're a coach now. Sometimes you got to discipline players and say you're not playing until you do it right.
But in this era, it's a little different, because
I understand.
We're not talking about, the scholarship era. We're talking about the $1 million player era.
Mm-hmm.
And it just didn't.
Well, they didn't have a guy on that side that was as nearly as good as Pritchett. I mean, that's the problem. That was part of the problem. Now, as far as development, recruiting, it was okay, right? So development, recruiting by Donovan.
Yeah, you just want to see more. I mean, Grant Bricks was a big-time supposed recruit. Preston Taumua. I mean, you want to see what these guys can do. Sam Sledge, we thought would be pretty good. We haven't really seen him play. Maciejczak, Jake Peters.
Those are all redshirt freshmen and sophomores and freshmen, or sophomores and redshirt freshmen. It's a little before their time. Now, see, that's the thing. It's interesting. Oh, those guys might get good.
But will they get the opportunity, or will they just be leapfrogged over by the portal?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that's what we're going to find out.
I think a couple of those guys will start this year. Don't you? Couldn't you see Maciejczak starting at a guard?
Or they'll go in the portal. I mean, a lot will depend on what will they do with Gatula. Will he move inside or stay at tackle?
Yeah. It does a lot depend on that.
I mean, I think that's a big question right now. But, yeah, transitioning on these hires, because we obviously then defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Nebraska goes out and gets Rob Orich out of San Diego State. And
out of nowhere,
this
right?
was, not a hire I don't think anybody expected, but statistically, the metrics, the numbers, everything he did there was outstanding.
Scoring defense 5th. That's where you start. That's where I always start. 12.6 allowed per game. They tossed 3 shutouts, which Stony Brook doesn't really get your attention, 42-0. But shutting out Cal, San Diego State, shutting out Cal, San Diego State, shutting out Fresno State, 34-0, 23-0. That gets your attention. You shut out those 2 teams. That alone gets your attention. They only allowed 12.6 points per game. They're top 10 total defense team, top 20 rush defense team. Opponent third down, excellent, top 15, and they had 13 picks. So great year for San Diego State. They won 9 games. They're going to play North Texas in a bowl game, and this was his first year too. He coached edges last year. First year as DC there.
And he's originally from South Dakota. Is that right?
He's a northerner. He played at Bemidji State.
It kind of reminds me, though, of just how Pat Fitzgerald, when he brought in David Braun, just kind of like an out-of-the-box hire.
Good comp. Yeah.
That, had no connection to that program, but a Midwest guy. And we'll see how this works. I mean, he's going to get a 3-year agreement. I think what we don't know is what the staff makeup is going to look like other than Addison Williams.
No, we don't know. And there's a couple critical elements to this conversation. You have to kind of evaluate, you hired a guy with no Big Ten, he's never coached in the Big Ten. Now that's a back and forth conversation you can have. I think it definitely helps to have some Big Ten background or understand the Big Ten. He doesn't. Now so the question becomes, will he bring somebody? What's his net like? Who does he bring people with him? Or does he just keep the staff the same? I wouldn't think so, right?
He's from Spring Lake, Michigan, by the way.
Oh, Spring Lake, Michigan. Northerner.
But he's been at San Diego State, Idaho, South Dakota, Bemidji State. He's been all over.
Yeah. South Dakota, right? Did you say South Dakota?
Yeah, he's been in South Dakota coaching at one point.
Yeah. So what's he do with staff? They're going to keep Addison Williams as a secondary coach. We know that. What do you think happens with the rest of the staff, Sean?
I think you're going to probably see a few changes. I mean, especially up front, if they don't have the front 7 coaches to fit what he wants, a guy like him is not going to take this job without the autonomy, because you're not going to tank your career and move without being able to bring your kitchen staff with you.
Yeah, and he's in his 30s. He's younger than you. He's probably one thing about him, doesn't have a wiki page. You can't find his age. He graduated from college. If you look at when he graduated from college, he'd probably be 37.
Yeah, he graduated high school in 05 or 06.
So that would make him about 37.
Close to 40.
Yeah, 37-ish. So
39.
I think he's sub 40.
Yeah, he's 38, 39 years old, young family guy.
Yeah, he's a young guy. It's a very interesting dynamic, really.
But you look at his background. I mean, he's from Minnesota Duluth as a player. That's where Jamrog coached.
Okay.
Didn't Jeff or was that Minnesota State Mankato? I'm sorry, Minnesota State Mankato is where Jamrog coached. But Bemidji State, South Dakota, Idaho. I mean, it's quite a progression he's made.
I know. Like you said, out of the box, out of left field, literally left field hire, right? You neither you nor I had any idea about this.
No, I mean, this guy could have, we'll use the famous analogy. This guy could have been walking around Super Saver all month.
Yep.
And nobody would have known he even was a football coach.
Nope. So,
And it might take a full year before people in Lincoln will know him. I mean, it's not like his face is going to be real familiar.
mm-hmm.
But Matt Rhule has a circle of people around him who I think help him identify and get names in front of him. I mean, you can't, Matt Rhule doesn't have time in the day to research all these guys at all hours. So that's why you have people around you, I'm sure, that help you locate candidates for situations like this.
So it moved. Yeah, that helps expedite the process, obviously, because it's moved. He moves fast. It's very decisive. Now, the other question people are going to have, Sean, will this guy bring players with him?
You would think a couple, maybe. I mean, but also you wonder, would that be kosher with his former boss?
Sean Lewis. Yeah,
but the money, I mean, you got money now, and San Diego State won't have money.
Yeah, it's a different conversation. It's a different conversation when you're talking about a head coach bringing players and a coordinator. This is a coordinator. It's not as cut and dried, I don't think, that he'll bring top guys with him, right? It's not Sean Lewis coming to – Sean Lewis is their head coach. It's not Sean Lewis coming to Lincoln. It's the coordinator.
It's interesting. Sean Dillon, Scott Frost's former recruiting person, is on that San Diego coaching staff. So there's a few random connections to Nebraska. Looking at their staff here. Yeah, Lewis was at Colorado with Deion Sanders. I want to say, hold on here. Darian Hagan's on that staff there at San Diego State. But yeah, he will not be a part of the bowl game.
Okay, that was the other question.
It will be Phil Snow still running the defense, but Jeep Wade is going to be at practice this week.
So it's a different conversation. Jeep Wade will play an active role in getting the team ready for the bowl game. This guy will not. So that's it's a little different. And also, you mentioned 4-2-5, right? Did you mention 4-2-5?
Yeah, he's going to be a 4-2-5 scheme, and I like the picture of Keona Davis and Williams Winery as two true 4-3 or 4-2 edge rushers.
Yeah, and you don't
with Pedshock in the middle.
Yeah, and
Van Poppel in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Those guys,
they didn't have the bodies to run a 3-man front properly. They just didn't.
Particularly a big nose, you know.
Well, and the defensive ends didn't fit that.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, Ty Robinson was a defensive end in a 3-man front. I mean, he played some nose too.
Yep. No, you're right. So they're going to more 4 down, 4-2-5 base. So that all makes sense.
All right. Well, that was like 2 headlines, but that was headline 1.
That's good.
A lot to unpack, and I'm sure everyone.
A
lot of people are busy all weekend, so we're trying to catch you up. Mm-hmm. Headline 2, before we get to it, we're brought to you by our title sponsor, StayHome.Care. Call them at 402-205-2233 to learn more about them and their services. We're also brought to you by Crani-Yum, great energy drink that has fueled us for the last year plus here at Husker Online, founded by 2 lifelong Nebraskans right in Fremont, but the popularity of the drink has exploded as they are shipping out pallets and pallets every month around the country.
Yeah, I'm drinking one right now, and we always say the word clarity.
Mental clarity. The nootropics, it's sugar-free. It's got a lot of other great things in there, all natural. By the way, February 1st, they're going to come out with a new flavor.
What is it?
They haven't said.
Okay.
I don't even know yet.
This is exciting.
So another new, they came out with the melon crisp flavor and then the blue twist.
What is I got blue twist. Is there blueberry in here?
Yeah, it's blueberry, and
I wonder what this new thing is.
But go to their website, drinkcrani-yum.com. Use the promo code HuskerOnline. You'll get 10% off your order, and you can use that every time if you want, and you'll get free shipping. So 10% off, free shipping, code HuskerOnline at drinkcrani-yum.com. I promise, when you're having a down day, like when I have to go coach basketball practices after working all day, I have one of those, and it's like I'm running around like nothing happened all day. I mean, the energy pickup you get from it is unreal.
It's pretty significant. Plus the clarity, which God knows you need.
You need it too. It cleans up our conversations. All right, let's take it to headline number 2. Nebraska's bowl game is official, and I think we've known for over a week. We got some resistance for whatever odd reason from people that I don't know if they didn't want to go to Vegas or just wanted to.
Drives you crazy.
Well, it drives me crazy because we're giving them the right information. Like, no, it's going to be that. No, it's Las Vegas. What we've been telling you on this show since the Iowa game.
Calm down, make it worse.
They're playing Utah in Las Vegas.
Yes, they are.
Brett McMurphy has been on top of this from the get-go, and it was officially announced yesterday. New Year's Eve, Las Vegas, 2:30 Central Time kickoff in Allegiant Stadium. That's a Super Bowl college football national championship level venue.
Selling point, big time. They're playing in a gorgeous stadium.
It's an ideal. What I also like about this game, it's not going to be played like at 9:00 at night because you get that West Coast bowl game. There's like a game before your game, and then you're like the late one.
No, this is good all the way around for fans. If you just think about fans, you've been to Vegas. It's easy to get to that stadium. So the proximity, it's all very easy. And then you're going to be in this gorgeous new venue. I mean, it is gorgeous, state of the art. I would think it'd be very attractive for fans to go to this. Vegas is Vegas. You know more about that than I do. We were there in July, but we just got a quick kind of. Well, how many days were we there? 3.
We were there, 2 nights, 3
for
days.
Big Ten media days. Yeah. Now, as far as Utah goes, they're favored. They're already, I saw, 14-point favorite.
But they have opt-outs coming too.
They're having opt-outs for sure. So we'll see what that looks like. We've talked about the fan turnout, which we expect to be big. They haven't had huge turnouts for that bowl game.
No, and it's a lot of it's when it falls, time of year, day it falls. But they've never in the history of the Vegas Bowl, and that goes back to when they used to play it at UNLV's stadium. I think 44,000 is the record.
Yes, the all-time attendance record was 44,615 in 2006 when BYU defeated Oregon. So you can see why geographically that would be a big draw. Last year, USC versus Texas A&M drew 26,671. Nebraska will eclipse that. I think
on their own,
almost on their own.
Because look, people from Nebraska, there's going to be a healthy number of people from around Nebraska that go out there. Like I'll undershoot it. Let's say like 5,000 to 8,000 from around here will go out there. Mm-hmm. But there's another 15,000, 20,000 that live in Phoenix, Vegas, and California that will deploy into Vegas.
Yes.
There's like a National Guard reserve of Husker fans on the West Coast, and they deploy wherever the game is.
So there'll be a lot of that. I don't know. Originally, I thought you could push 60, or originally I thought you could exceed 60. I'm kind of tempering it. I think your upper 50s would be a good goal.
I think breaking the record would be a good.
Hey, now Utah, if Whittingham, if it's his last game, that'll boost that part of the equation. Kyle Whittingham, their head coach. The 2023 season, that game drew just 20,000 for Utah versus Northwestern.
Northwestern
brings what do you think they brought? 2,000?
The band?
Yeah. Would they even bring 2,000? Yeah, they probably
would. What? I wonder what the deal is for like Nebraska's band and things like that. Will they take all? I mean, I assume all those things come on this trip, but
I hope so.
You don't know how these but they should get a go. I mean,
yeah, I hope so. A college game without the band is missing something.
Yeah, it would, like Arrowhead, it would have been awesome to have the band in there for that sellout Husker crowd. But this will be, I think, I think this is going to Tampa, you would have played Vanderbilt, right?
Yeah.
Going to Nashville, is Illinois playing Tennessee?
I don't know those matchups.
I think they're playing Tennessee.
Check that out before we go forward there.
Oh, God.
Petiti. Come on, Petiti.
I'm almost positive. Yeah. Illinois is playing Tennessee. Iowa's playing Vanderbilt. So
Illinois is playing Tennessee in the Music City.
Yeah, why do you do that to me? I've read all this stuff, and you make me double check.
Illinois, Tennessee, and the Music City
Right.
Bowl. We've been down that road.
And
by
so
the way. We've
I
heard,
would rather have Utah and Vegas than playing a home game against Tennessee.
We've been down that road, and we heard Tennessee fans singing Rocky Top, which was really cool, by the way. But it was a home game for Tennessee, right?
Right, a sellout.
Yeah. Ask.
And Vanderbilt, you would think, would travel decent against. And Iowa's going to. I mean, that will be a good bowl game in Tampa.
Those are rough games for the Big Ten.
And Texas, Michigan,
rough game for the Big Ten.
USC kind of got a break. I mean, I think they play TCU in the Alamo Bowl. So, like, that's a winnable game for Lincoln Riley if his guys play.
Game, but a road game. You know where TCU is located, right?
Correct.
Fort Worth.
That will be a sellout. Like,
yeah.
If I was in the bowl business, though, like, my number one mission would be to make sure, like, I got as many tickets sold as possible.
Crowd.
Like, the home run of the home runs to me still is Penn State, Clemson in Yankee Stadium on ABC at 11 a.m. on a Saturday.
Which will draw a higher rating than probably 2 of the college football playoff games.
We were joking, Oregon, James Madison, and then is it Mississippi, Tulane?
Yeah, Ole Miss, Tulane.
There will be more numbers on it because those games are on Turner. You know that? Those like
TNT.
ESPN conveniently shops off 2 playoff spots. Oh, and by the way, it's the ones with James Madison and Tulane.
Right.
And ABC will get Clemson, Penn State, and Yankee Stadium at noon Eastern on a Saturday.
Big number. I mean, I don't want to overdo this.
5-6 million though.
Yeah, it'll be a good number.
It'll be a big for a meaningless game. It will be a big number, and that's the bowl business in a nutshell.
God, the Pinstripe Bowl gets Penn State, Clemson.
I mean, I will watch that game.
I know, that's amazing for that bowl. Pretty good back-to-back years for them.
And Penn State fans will fill Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. That'll be something.
And there'll be Clemson fans who are like, hey, let's just go up there and check it out.
Clemson, yeah.
All right, well, let's stay on the topic of bowl, but before we do that, again, we're brought to you by our title sponsor of StayHome.Care. Call them at 402-205-2233. They are there for you, your family, your loved ones. We're also brought to you by Tushy. Look, we've been linked up with Tushy all football season. What they do is they provide a top-of-the-line luxury bidet that you can install in your own bathroom in a matter of minutes. It's a state-of-the-art product that helps you take care of yourself with Tushy. And remember, a hole is only as naughty as the word if you wipe. For a limited time, our listeners will get 10% off their first bidet order when you use the code HuskerOnline at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com with the promo code HuskerOnline. Thank you again to Tushy. Again, it's really easy. They've got lots of different styles, models. You find the style that's going to fit your bathroom at home, and you don't even necessarily need a plumber to install this. It's pretty simple to install. And check it out again with that promo code HuskerOnline to receive the discount of 10%. Thanks to Hello Tushy for sponsoring us here on HuskerOnline Headlines. But I want to stick on the topic of bowl games. Headline 3. The bowl business is in major turmoil. So
yes, Sean, what is the turmoil?
Notre Dame, for the last month, appeared to be in the playoff. Yeah. Every metric, every rating show showed them ahead of Miami.
Okay.
But
gotcha.
Miami owned the head-to-head on them. So it was always kind of curious. Like, so what are we doing the head-to-head for if it doesn't even matter?
100.
And then all of a sudden
100.
I don't know if there was pressure from the ACC.
Well, I think BYU affected the conversation. The loss by BYU changed the ratings up a little bit and then forced the hand of the
reshuffle.
Yes.
But Notre Dame fell back one spot, but then the ACC's mess in its own right by having Virginia play Duke in their title game also completely screwed up things because the ACC then was not going to get an auto bid because they weren't one of the 5 highest ranked conference champions.
Right.
I mean, this is just a disaster
for the ACC.
Well,
yes.
and then
for the committee,
like, oh, we're going to do this nice thing and allow the one group of 5 team because there's no way like the ACC champion's not going to be ranked higher than like the Sun Belt champion.
And lo and behold, here we are.
So James Madison and Tulane get auto bids.
Not good. And Notre Dame fails to crack the 12-team playoff and then does what?
decides not to play in the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Okay.
And it was going to be BYU Notre Dame, which would have been a highly rated bowl game. Notre Dame knows that. ESPN knows that. And that's why Notre Dame's like, the hell with you, ESPN. We're not going to play in this game. We're not going to belittle our brand, Notre Dame, with Pop-Tarts.
Do you support that at all?
No. I understand their position. I don't support their position.
Said.
I do think they have a right to be upset based on the transparency of the weekly television show. But the committee also messed up by not really giving the head-to-head the merit it deserved until it really mattered.
Right. Now, I don't want to gloss over Notre Dame's sort of embarrassing reaction to this. It's really sad. I mean,
because BYU's mad too.
Yeah, it's a terrible look for Notre Dame. It's terrible. I believe it's horrible. I don't even know how you defend it, except I've seen some people defend it by saying, no, they're doing the honorable. No, I don't honorable. They're quitting. I mean, nothing's honorable about it, in my opinion. They're just taking the ball and going home to their little blankets and curling up in a corner.
I can see
saying they were a victim of injustice. Victim. It's a horrible look for Notre
I could see Notre Dame moving forward with bowl games, saying if we don't make the playoff, we're not going to be going to bowl games.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an era where Notre Dame didn't start going to bowls until what?
I don't know. I just know this. As media, I don't think we think of the players nearly enough. I don't think we do. I think we think of the administrators, we think of the coaches, we think of everybody but the players. Don't you think you were an athlete once. Don't you think there are athletes on that roster? I don't even have to ask you. You know the answer. That want to play. They want to play in a game.
Yeah, I think what would have happened is you'd be upset for a few days, then you just get back to work. And to abruptly kind of pull the plug.
What kind of message are you sending to the kids?
Like, you don't really get like a final goodbye, like with your program and your players for that year.
Okay, there's that. And what's the message you're sending?
Like, if we don't get what we want, quit.
Right.
But now Pete Bavacqua, the Notre Dame AD, has said that he said this on the Dan Patrick show today, that what happened has greatly affected our relationship with the ACC. And what does that mean? Now, tomorrow on Tuesday, he's going to have a press conference. I've got some thoughts because guess who the ACC is linked up with? ESPN. Could this be like the start of the end of Notre Dame's relationship with the ACC conference? Mm-hmm. And then guess who the Big Ten's not linked with? ESPN. I mean, is there something there? I don't know. But if I'm Tony Petitti, like, this is a way to get Notre Dame now because of what's going on and how angry they are.
The door might be cracked, but it's only a crack because Notre Dame clings so hard to its independence.
But if they lose that ACC relationship with playing those 5-6 ACC games per year, and then what happens to their schedule?
It's like UConn. You can't find anybody
because
to play.
The SEC and the Big Ten are going to go to 9.
Right.
Everyone's going to go to 9. So there's not going to be as much free inventory to play.
Right. UConn. I use UConn as an example because they're an independent. They can't look at their schedule. They can't find anybody to play.
I don't know if it's possible, but it would be ideal if you could get Notre Dame someday to the Big Ten, and then NBC would air 2 Big Ten games, and you'd have 4 national television spots. But I don't know how that would work with CBS because CBS has that 2:30 window already exclusively. But yeah, there's just a lot there with the ACC's future now. And what if Notre Dame just says we're out?
Okay, we'll see. Watch that. There's other teams that decline bowl bids too.
But there's one major conference not affiliated to ESPN.
Oh, sorry,
the Big Ten.
Yeah,
and the bowl business. Let's call it what it is. This is ESPN's business to put programming on in December that's not on Sunday and Monday. They have NFL Sunday. They have Monday Night Football. So they need programming to air on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Is that enough to keep the Bulls alive?
Well, that's what's keeping it alive. Because ESPN, what would ESPN air if they didn't have December bowl games?
Cornhole.
Well, NBA games, but college basketball.
I was joking. What about like they can air more? I don't know, card games, poker, celebrity poker. I don't know. No, I get your point. I get your point. But what I wonder, is that enough to keep the Bulls alive going forward indefinitely?
All right. It should be interesting, though, to see kind of how all this plays out with Notre Dame in the bowl business. Before we take it now to headline 4, we're brought to you by our title sponsor, StayHome.Care. Give them a call at 402-205-2233 to learn more about what they can do for you and your family and your loved ones. We're also brought to you by Hollow. Phenomenal socks. Let me tell you, Steph, I was at state football this year, and it was freezing cold out there. My feet were like in a furnace because I was wearing Hollow socks all day.
Good job.
I was outside from 8 a.m. until 10:30 at night.
Man,
on that day where it was like hurricane winds and cold.
Mm-hmm.
And these Hollow socks on? What's that?
What are they called?
Hollow socks.
Hollow.
One of our great sponsors of the show. And look, it's a great Christmas gift. Throw it in the stocking. Put socks in the stocking. And go on their website. They got a great special. Go to hollowsocks.com today. Buy 2, get 2 free. These things are made out of alpaca.
Oh.
And it is just like a warm, comfortable material. And your feet will thank you later. Good. So go to hollowsocks.com. Thanks again to Hollow. All right. Let's turn the page to basketball. Headline 4. Nebraska turns the tide in the Creighton series. The Huskers absolutely steamroll the Jays in front of a packed PBA crowd. Nebraska now ranked in the AP top 25 for the first time since 2018 as the Huskers debuted Monday in the AP poll at number 23 after their 71-50 win over Creighton and their 9-0 start to the season.
They look like a top 25 team to me. I watched Indiana lose to Minnesota on its home court, and all I could think was, okay, Indiana's 22. Nebraska looks every bit as good as Indiana. As far as the Creighton game goes, man, embarrassing for Creighton. Really shot poorly. I think they were at one point 1 for 13. They were 18% well into the first half. They ended up shooting 30% for the game, but they had no answers. I give Nate Lenzer, Nebraska's defensive coach, a lot of credit. Obviously, I give Fred credit. I give Fred credit for having his team come out of the gate in the second half. You were there with your family. They came out of the gate in the second half and said to Creighton, "You're not coming back in this game." There were plenty of guys that filter through the media area at PBA, and a lot of guys are saying, "Oh, don't worry, this game will be a 1-possession game pretty soon." No.
It never got closer than 17 or 15?
No. I don't think it got closer than 15. Fred's guys put the clamps on him right out of the halftime locker room. Nebraska led 33-19 and then ended it pretty much early in the second half.
McDermott said that he thought they were getting good shots in the first half. I disagree. I felt like they were not getting good shots. And I thought like Nebraska's perimeter defense getting out there was forcing tough looks. We saw Creighton have to take a lot of like 17-foot shots off the dribble.
I'll settle this. I thought they got some decent looks, but I think at times they were hurried and they never looked comfortable to me. They never looked. So I think they did get a few good looks, but even if they're getting good looks, they never looked comfortable. They looked a little hurried all the time. I think that's Nebraska's defense, and I think Creighton's not very good. I mean, they're missing Jackson McAndrew, who's probably their best player, and they're missing a freshman that they like. But no, I mean, I'm not diminishing Nebraska's win. They dominated Creighton.
And now Nebraska looks like an NCAA tournament team. I think we're all smart enough to know that a lot of work to go, though. But they're going to get 11 wins in the non-conference, 11-0. So then you have 20 Big Ten games, and
so win 10.
Can you cross that threshold, get to 21 wins? I think winning 9, you'd probably get in. But right now, they don't technically have a quad 1 win.
Right. So, they play Nebraska, plays Wisconsin on Wednesday night at PBA at 8 p.m. You'll get a better idea of course, you'll get a better idea. That'll be their first Big Ten game. But I kind of want to see what that looks like. Wisconsin should be a game you win. Let's put it this way. If you think you're going to win 10, 11, 12 games in the league, then you beat Wisconsin at home. If you think you're that kind of team, 10 wins in the Big Ten, 11 wins, 12 wins, then you beat Wisconsin.
And play Illinois tough on the weekend. Their other conference opener is on Saturday at Illinois.
Right. So why? I mean, there's a lot to like about Nebraska. The thing I think it gets overlooked a little bit is something McDermott identified. He was correct that their role players really embrace their roles. And what McDermott says, it's kind of corny, but he said they embrace their roles like champions. I just say they're a really strong chemistry team. They do have great. They have guys who have embraced their roles. And you know who number one is, and that's Sam Hoiberg.
Yeah,
Sam's just become we've watched Sam become a good Big Ten player. He's gotten strong. He's a strong dude. He's a strong dude with the ball. He now gets to the hoop, you know.
He's explosive too.
He's explosive. And he had 15 points against Creighton. And, you know, we don't have to get into all Sam. He just makes all those, I mean, kind of
what's interesting
tough plays, gets to the ball. He's just become, we've watched him develop kind of like Emmett Johnson in a way, like just over time, he's become a better player.
Well, you got 3 in-state guys that have developed into great roles. I mean, Cale Jacobson, Sam Hoiberg, and Brendan Frager.
Great example.
And this has not happened
great example
in 20 plus years of Nebraska basketball. And then I'm not, you know, like, I think you see how important it is to these in-state players to play in a game like that yesterday. I mean,
yeah, you couldn't have named really 3 better examples of guys that have embraced their roles. Jacobson doesn't try to do anything crazy.
He passes up shots. He could take a lot of shots. He gives them up.
Yeah, I thought he was giving up too many shots yesterday, but that's neither here nor there. Nick Frager embraces coming off the bench. Frager's super athletic, could be a starter, but embraces coming off the bench. And of course, there's Sam. So those are 3 great examples of what McDermott was talking about. Good chemistry team. And then they have the guys. I mean, Rink is going to cause virtually anybody problems. Sanford, same way. Sanford's a great shooter. He's a great shooter. Who else are we talking about?
Burke
embraces his role.
You know, he takes a lot of those perimeter shots. Those aren't really his.
They leave him wide open, though.
But yeah, he's going to make some of those eventually.
He's got to. They don't guard him.
But Rink, I mean, a couple of the ones Rink hit.
Oh, Rink's a beautiful shooter. And you notice Rink at 6'10", where his release point is? He's way above his head. I mean, he shoots it up here. It's a beautiful look. So does Burke, but Burke doesn't make shots like Rink. So they got some things going here. I think it's going to be a very interesting year.
Yeah,
it already has been. I
mean, to get 11-0 in non-conference, I mean, they have 2 bye games remaining that they're heavy favorites in to get to it, but they're in a position that we've never seen.
Do you yell in the arena like you yelled at our home
I was into that Kansas State game. It was
the BRB.
I was having fun. It was a Friday night.
BRB?
I was in a private situation. I wasn't in public. And
you don't yell like that in public? Some people do.
No, not the arena.
Would you do that?
No.
Anyway,
I don't know. You can't.
Not really.
But when I'm in private situations, not expecting somebody to talk about it on a show, I might show some emotion.
Yeah,
I won't ever do it again.
Quite a bit of emotion.
I won't ever do it again around you.
I haven't disclosed what you've been saying.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
It was funny.
No, the game was. I mean, my daughters were with. We had a great time.
Yeah, your daughters would have been interested by the Penn State showing.
No, there's a lot of people around our section that we've known in a while, and they're great. We sit by a lot of great fans.
What an atmosphere, by the way. My God.
I love the crowd at PBA. I mean, they're just all such, great Husker fans.
Yeah.
Just great people to be around at the games.
I don't know. Now I'll start sounding like a homer a little bit, but there can't be too many atmospheres better than Creighton, Nebraska out there, right?
I'm sure Indiana, Purdue, Duke, North Carolina,
Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah.
Other than that,
there's some great.
I'm sure Kansas, Missouri.
Okay, I get the point. That's really good, though. It's a really good atmosphere.
No, it is. You're right. It was
God, it was good.
I can't believe Nebraska hasn't beaten Creighton back-to-back years
since 95 and 97. They didn't play in 96.
And was that, why did they not play in 96?
Well, I don't know that.
Then the run by Altman kind of began in 98.
Yeah.
It was in the Civic Auditorium. I was at the game, and that Creighton team knocked off Nebraska, and that kind of led to the turn of the series.
Yep.
But all right, let's take it to headline 5. Before we do that, brought to you again by StayHome.Care, phenomenal company that is there for you, your family, your loved ones. Give them a call at 402-205-2233 to learn more. We're also brought to you by BRUNT. And Sip, we had the weather the last couple of weeks where the ice and the snow has been around. And let me tell you, these BRUNT boots have been a game changer. Just to get around the mush and the snow and the ice that we've dealt with. I wore these basically for 2 straight weeks in the snow and the ice. They look brand new still. And
I know.
So not only are they a phenomenal boot where they're comfortable to walk in, they keep your feet warm, but they hold up. And
they do.
I am just blown away by the quality of the product of the BRUNT boots and the comfort, because there are nice boots out there, but sometimes they're not comfortable to wear.
They're clunky.
All day.
Yeah, they're clunky, and by the end of the day, you just want to throw them into the yard. Not these though.
No, and so get on their website, check them out. It's not just boots, by the way. They have lots of workwear clothes, stocking caps, shirts, everything at BRUNT. Go to their website.
I found my shirt. I'd misplaced it. I'm gonna start wearing it.
BRUNTworkwear.com/Husker, promo code Husker, and you'll get $10 off of your BRUNT order. Thanks again to BRUNT for sponsoring us here on Husker Online Headlines. All right, odds and ends. Nebraska volleyball takes care of business. 2 sweeps, Long Island and Kansas State. Now the Huskers are in the Sweet 16, and they'll take on Kansas, and then the winner of Texas A&M Louisville to go to the Final Four. This weekend, though, was interesting. Except both games were streamed. In fact, all of the first and the second round NCAA volleyball games were streamed on ESPN Plus. No linear television. And I know that's a hot button for a lot of folks because, Kristen Bernthal Booth from Creighton, the former Creighton coach, made a comment like, it is the #1 sport for high school girls in America right now, and it's not aired on linear television.
It was a problem too, the streaming, because it was what's the word? It was kind of fading in and out.
Choppy.
It was choppy. I heard from a fan on Sunday morning at Planet Fitness who stopped me and said, this is a problem. It was a really choppy coverage for that. So that was not good. Now Nebraska did what was expected. People kind of making a big deal because Kansas State pushed them in set 2. That's where Nebraska's at, right? They get pushed. And
it's like the 90s when you would write a story about the #2 defense giving up a touchdown.
Right. Like then during the week, you're talking like, is Charlie losing it a little bit? Charlie McBride, is he not? What's going on over there? But yeah, Kansas State did a good job. Chalk holds, all 4 seeds advance, and it could be Louisville versus Nebraska. Probably will be Louisville versus Nebraska in the Elite 8.
But yeah, they I don't know why they can't get it figured out, other than there's just no available programming windows to air it on TV. But all the matches are on TV for the Sweet 16. Now the problem is, like, half of them are during the daytime on like Thursdays and Friday. Like their date,
right?
And Nebraska is going to get the later window. They're going to play at like 8:30
on Friday.
On Thursday.
Yeah. Okay, my bad. Thursday.
I think it's Thursday, Saturday.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, listen. The story is, will they give up? Will they lose a set? I mean, that's kind of what we're talking about, right? Now, maybe somebody could convince you that Louisville is a little different, and I'm not equipped to make that judgment.
Yeah, Kentucky and Creighton are the 2 teams that have pushed Nebraska, and they're both still in the field. But other odds and ends, quarterback Dylan Rhule. A lot of people want to know, with Dayton not coming here, Donovan Rhule now fired.
Mm-hmm.
Where are things at with Dylan, who's recovering from his injury? He remains in Lincoln, obviously, going through his rehab. But I think a lot of people inevitably wonder if he's going to be around. Status
quo right now. I know what people wonder is, is there a cause and effect? Donovan Rhule gets fired. How does that affect Dylan's situation? And I will tell you, and nobody believes me, it doesn't. It doesn't affect it. The Raiolas they understand the nature of this business, and it's a business. So it doesn't affect Dylan Raiola. His dad played in the NFL for 14 years. They understand what they're dealing with here. So it's status quo. He'll continue to rehab and you just take it kind of day by day. Sean, I don't know how Rhule handles this. Like does the Latif injury even complicate it a little bit? It's not like Latif can go out today, which by the way, Monday's the start of bull practice, and further prove himself.
Yeah,
because he's not practicing.
And what will the roll call head count be at bull practice? I mean, is everybody there? Mm-hmm. Are there some guys that are not going to be there? We don't know the answer to that moving forward as far as, but we know Emmett Johnson is not playing in the bowl. Mm-hmm. We know Rocco Spindler's out with surgery. Dasan McCullough is a senior, but he announced he's declaring for the draft, which confused people like he was done, but he is going to play in the bowl game.
I never understand those declarations.
Especially like right at the timing of when they're doing it.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you just make that after the bowl game?
I don't know.
Literally my first thought's like, wow, he's not going to play in the bowl.
Right.
But I was able to get that confirmed immediately because it was a little misleading, but McCullough is going to be playing in the bowl game.
Maybe the idea is to make an announcement now and then making another announcement. They like to make seems like they like to make
maybe to get your name on more of the all-star draft game radars.
Yeah, maybe.
But
as far as quarterback head count, I mean what we're watching now is Latif's health. I mean, is Latif going to get healthy enough? Is his hamstring going to get healthy enough to get a few practices in before the game? That's what you're kind of watching, right? I mean, how long does that hamstring issue linger? He's not practicing today.
He's had about 10 days since Iowa. Mm-hmm. And how many more days would 3 weeks get him there?
And you covered it last week. It's tricky. Hamstrings are tricky. I mean, you can come back too fast, tweak it, and then now you're gone another 3 weeks, right?
It could be longer.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes on that. Finally, odds and ends, Indiana. Holy cow. I mean, what a story.
What a flex.
You think about what Bill Snyder did at Kansas State, taking that program from the worst in the country to nearly a national title twice.
Good comparison.
I mean, 98, they were probably the best team, and they blew the Big 12 title game. And then they had the one team with Colin Klein that got upset by Baylor, if you remember that.
I do.
That game. But Snyder kind of did what Cignetti did, just didn't finish the job. Mm-hmm. And there was no playoff back then. Mm-hmm. And, now you have Cignetti taking his team to the playoff back-to-back years, winning the Big Ten championship. It's going to be a hell of a movie.
It is. It's one of the great college football stories of our time. I would say if they win all the marbles, they're the number one seed. It's very possible. It'll be one of the great sports stories of all time. It'll transcend college football at that point.
If somebody doesn't have the rights to the movie, they should, because I do think his story and then getting there and, trying to flip the mindset of them being a basketball school.
Is that who's playing that role of Cignetti? Is that Ben Affleck? Is that Affleck?
I don't know. I haven't thought that far through.
It seems like that would be a candidate to do it. I'd have to think about it a little bit more.
But yeah, can you imagine him at Big Ten Media Days next year?
Well, he's, what? I know he gets that rap of kind of being sort of cocky and crazy.
He backs it up.
Well, he wasn't even that bad. I watched his post-game press conference Saturday night. He was dialed back. He was fine. He's fine, meaning wasn't overly cocky. He's just a great coach. That's what we're talking. We're talking about one of the best to ever do it right now. That's what it looks like to me.
Heisman, right? And then they might have a Heisman winner too.
Mendoza looks fabulous.
So I put my ballot in. You're not supposed to just say.
Yeah, don't discuss it.
But who are you? I'm going to ask you this question: between Mendoza, Diego Pavia at Vanderbilt, Jeremiah Love at Notre Dame, and saying
and Jeremiah Smith. If I had to, Jeremiah Smith.
What's your ballot?
My ballot would be Mendoza 1, Pavia 2. Then I like Jeremiah Smith because I believe oh God, you're going to crush me for this. I believe that Jeremiah Smith's the best pure football player, but Mendoza has a bigger impact on a game. So it's a tricky call, because when I was a voter, I always thought I'm looking for best pure football player. So I didn't like drop back quarterbacks usually, but then I kind of came around on, well, they affect the game so much. Mendoza is a gamer. Sean, I don't know if you watched that game or not. He completed some passes that were wow material.
What I'm interested, though, is will it be a landslide for one of these winners, or is it going to be one of the closer ones? I'm leaning toward this will be one of the closer ones. I feel like the Big Ten and the SEC vote will be kind of split between those two quarterbacks.
I don't know, Sean. I think Mendoza might have put some distance between himself and the field on Saturday, the way he played. I think Saying looked pretty ordinary. Indiana made him look ordinary. I think Saying might have put some distance in that conversation.
And if it is Mendoza, another transfer portal quarterback wins the Heisman.
Help me with that.
Well, there's been several.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go through the list, but like a lot of.
I'm not questioning. I'm drawing a blank on it.
I'll go through it right now. If you don't, I mean, Russell Wilson didn't win the Heisman, but like he was like the first kind of real known.
Remember when transfer like that Wilson story was so big?
Now it's just like every day.
Yeah.
Okay, Travis Hunter transferred from Florida State. From the Mississippi school that Deion came from. Jackson State.
I'm gonna call it Jackson State. Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, was he a transfer to LSU?
Yes, he was absolutely a
Louisville
transfer.
to LSU.
We're sort of revealing ourselves to be numbskulls here. ASU, I thought.
Arizona State, yeah.
ASU.
Caleb Williams was a transfer.
Yeah.
Bryce Young, not a transfer. Devontae Smith, not a transfer. Joe Burrow was a transfer quarterback.
High-profile transfer.
Kyler Murray was a transfer quarterback. Baker Mayfield was a transfer quarterback.
Bam, bam, bam.
So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Heismans since 2017 that have been transfers.
Think about what Cignetti did with Mendoza. You didn't see him coming out of Cal. Sean, you weren't saying, nor was I, nor anybody else saying, I think they got the Heisman winner. He was good at Cal. See, Cignetti has some secrets. I don't know how he does it with those quarterbacks. It's amazing. That's his specialty.
And Pavia is a transfer too.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see his family at the Heisman ceremony.
Yes, interesting.
Oh, you know his mom will be all in.
Yeah. Wow, he's earned everything.
What a story he's had. He's a movie.
He tilts the field.
I mean, he's a movie. Indiana football is a movie. Like they will be.
Oh God, they are
sports movies.
Yeah, Pavia. And I stole that line from Clark Lee as coach. He tilts the field. You know, players like that. They're pretty rare though, right? The guys that kind of tilt the field. Sue was that guy. You know, Pavia was that guy. Pavia's dual threat. I mean, he ran for 166 yards in a game late in the year. Ran for 166. He'll throw for 250 and run for 150. That's what he'll do.
Be a good game against Iowa.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
You don't think they'll whack Iowa?
No, Iowa only lost to Indiana by 5.
Good point.
And they took Oregon down to like the last play. Iowa might have been the best team Nebraska played all year.
Yeah. Ooh, so if you're having that conversation, are they better in Michigan?
They didn't play Michigan head to head.
I wonder who's better.
I'd take them against Michigan.
God, it's a slugfest though. I wouldn't say it with a lot of confidence. Michigan, Iowa was a close game, is what I'm saying.
It's a close game, but again, Iowa played Indiana as well as anybody did.
They did. They had them. You're right. That's true. Told you about Iowa's toughness. It does.
Iowa did lose.
We saw it firsthand, by the way.
But it was on the road, and they blew the lead.
Yeah. So
on a neutral field, does Iowa beat USC?
Yes, I think. I don't know. Iowa was coming off that gut punch loss to Oregon, which I think impacted them. It was a tough turnaround. They lose to Oregon. They got to go out in a rainstorm and play USC. And they were great in the first half, and they lost steam in the second half. USC picked it up. USC does that.
All right. Well, full week of coverage. Bowl practices are open for business, and we'll be back Wednesday with the Husker Online show. For Steve Sipple, I'm Sean Callahan. Thanks for joining us on Husker Online Headlines.